Welcome to round 3 of the 2023 Porsche 944 Challenge Series Australia. With thanks to our supporting partners: Porsche Australia, Advan Yokohama Tyres, Seat Time Race Solutions, Poolmaster Bayside, 1-800 Lasagna, Raceline, AVI Technology, 888 Home Loans, Pit Lane Clothing. Round 3 sees the championship head back to one of the most iconic racetracks in the world, the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit. Located around 130 kilometres southeast of Melbourne, the circuit is 4.4 kilometres long and runs in an anti-clockwise direction. The world-famous track is well known for being fast and furious, with a high average outright speed due to its flowing corners, plus the undulation and its southern location means weather always plays a part as well. Overall, there are 12 corners. The key ones to watch out for are Turn 1, a high-speed entry corner. Turn 4, a tight hairpin but a great passing opportunity under brakes. Turn 10, the steep drop-down section of the track known as MG Corner. And Turn 12, another high-speed corner which leads onto the long front straight and towards the start-finish line. Qualifying took place on Saturday morning, and in an historic turn of events, it was Tony Westaway who took pole over his son, Jamie Westaway. Three-time champion Chris Lewis-Williams takes up position 3, alongside front-runner Adam Brewer in the AVI Technology car. The 4-time series champion Cameron Bella starts from position 5, alongside the ever-improving Mark Verdino. Ryan Woods comes out of position 7, with English expat Keith Mariner next to him in P8. The Poolmaster, Andrew Jackman, takes up position 9, alongside Joey Kellett, who will start from P10. El Presidente, Mark Torbitz, comes out of position 11, with the number 7 of Carter Fox next to him. West Australian Tim Wolfe starts from P13, alongside the number 56 of Josh Brisbane. Another West Australian, Andy Tudor, starts from P15, and the number 32 of John Venoris rounds out the 16-car field. Race 1 began on Saturday afternoon, and the field rolled out on a cool but sunny and dry track. Conditions well suited for close racing and fast lap times.
We're getting ready for the first race of the Porsche 944 Challenge here at the glorious Phillip Island circuit. And if the previous couple of rounds of action at Sandown and Winton have been anything to go by, this is going to be a cracker. My name is Matt Dunlop, and joining me alongside in the box is Jack Atley. Jack, it's great to have you with us once again.
Thanks, Matty. Great to be here again, mate. Good afternoon. Welcome to everyone. What a sensational looking place. This is arguably the best racetrack in the world, and when the sun's shining, there's no better place to be. Definitely looking forward to this race.
The drivers are just gridding up now to start race 1, and as you can see on screen, it is indeed an all Westaway front row. Tony Westaway will take that number 1 spot on the grid with his son Jamie next to him, but not all the cars are gridding up. I've just seen Ryan Woods in the number 17 has pulled into the pits, and he'll be going back to the paddock, so a non-start for Ryan Woods unfortunately, so he won't be doing double duty at least for today. Hopefully he can get that car back out on the grid tomorrow, but we're getting ready for a race start here as one of the marshals are just pushing a car back into its spot on the grid a little bit further back.
And what an historic occasion to have father and son on the front row of the grid. That is amazing. Great to see the two Westaways sitting 1 and 2.
The question's going to be, which Westaway is going to get the jump? I think the rest of the cars are all gridded up now, ready to go. We're just waiting for the red light to come on, and we're away. Pretty even start at the front, but I think Tony Westaway, he's missed a gear. He's missed a gear, and he's plummeting back through the field.
Poleman Tony Westaway had a slow getaway. Jamie Westaway also sluggish off the line, and the usual front runners of Lewis-Williams and Brewer pounced.
It looks to be taken by, I think, That is
Chris Lewis Williams.
Chris Lewis Williams, our championship leader, but not for long. Adam Brewer in the number 3 is going to duck up the inside through turn number 2. Jamie Westaway resumes his pace in position 3 with his old championship foe, Cameron Bella, behind him in 4th position.
Bella too gaining spots from the 3rd row.
Lead pack that's just broken out.
Yep, Adam Brewer taking the lead through the hard left of turn 3. You threw that around about 180 k's an hour, so this is always going to be tight on turn 1. Chris Lewis Williams looking for the dive, under brakes into the hairpin, and he does get under. Adam Brewer there as well. Jamie Westaway in close company, and Cam Bella never far away in 4th position.
Meaning 4 race winners took up the top 4 positions. Lewis Williams assumed the lead from Brewer.
The Martini livery car there of the champion, the reigning champion, Jamie Westaway, taking to the outside. They're going side by side.
With Bella attacking Westaway through the hayshed section.
4 challenge for years and years and years, and it's always great to see them. They've got a great respect for each other off the track, but once the visors are down, it is game on. Cameron Bella leading that pack through Lukey Heights, but he's going to be currently sitting in P3 behind Adam Brewer and Chris Lewis Williams, who resumes his lead at the front of this race. But look at Jamie Westaway.
The number 8 of Howe was on the move early, charging up through the field.
As I said earlier, there's racing all the way up and down the pack, including, as we're seeing, Richard Howe there getting a move done on Carter Fox there, the number 8, making it past the number 87.
Yeah, it's great racing all round. I mean, that's the thing about this category. It's very close racing right throughout the pack. You've got the veteran there, Richard Howe, who's been in the game a long, long time, and you've got the young gun, Carter Fox, who's really improved his driving in the past 12, 18 months and really enjoying his racing in the 944 category. Good to see Keithy Mariner moving up to number 6. He started out of position 8, so he's moved up a couple of spots there as well. And
up front, Bella took advantage of the slipstream to sweep past Brewer.
Just go back to the battle here for 2nd position. So it looks like Chris Lewis Williams has drawn a bit of a gap at the front here, around about a half a second. So he'll lead as they cross the line to start lap 3. And Cameron Bella is all over the back of Adam Brewer. And he may even have a pass on here as they go down into turn 1. He's got the slipstream, he's got the line, but does he have the position? Yes, he does. And he's got the
Tony Westaway was also fighting back, grabbing Verdino under brakes into turn 4.
To be able to chase that gap down and to see Tony Westaway, who dropped back as we saw at the start with a misgear there, just trying to claw his way back to the front of this field. So he makes his way past Mark Verdino to get back into P5.
Whilst Jackman and Mariner had their own battle through the fast turns 11 and 12.
Flick it right, Andrew Jackman dives under brakes, just getting under Keith Mariner there, and then from here, which is turn 11, although Mariner's fighting back, from here you're almost flat to the boards. You are flat from turn 11 all the way through this very fast turn 12, and these guys are going side by side through turn 12. That's a pretty gutsy move there by Jacko. So the Bullmaster engineer of Andrew Jackman has taken Keith Mariner as well, but you're flat to the boards, and then you just want to aim for the traffic lights in the centre of the track and drive it all the way down to Bass Straight.
Back up front, Jamie Westaway started suffering some oil temp issues, and this saw him losing power.
What looks to be a little bit of a tyre rub out the back there, a bit of smoke coming out of the back of that car. Hopefully it's not a serious issue there. He still looks like he's got plenty of pace because he's all over the back of Adam Brewer there trying to get onto that podium. Brewer seems to have left him a little bit of space.
Whilst Bella had moved again and was gunning for the lead.
In front of them, Cameron Bella and Chris Lewis Williams, and this is the pass for the lead. Cameron Bella is going to pull alongside. If Chris Lewis Williams can hold his position on the side, he might be able to take that spot back through Siberia, and that's exactly what it's going to do. So this battle will rage on for at least another lap, but it's really important to see how much momentum they can chain through this series of corners across the top of the hill.
But Lewis Williams wasn't giving up easy. The two champions going side by side.
And again, Cam Bella just ducking under brakes there under Chris Lewis Williams. So he will get him through Lukey Heights. And you've got Brewer in there as well, and now Jamie Westaway joins the party. In fact, it's a 4-way fight. This is incredible. How close is this racing? These guys are literally an inch off each other, and through turn 12 there, you're at 180, 190 k's an hour. So it's no place for the faint-hearted when you're this close.
This is unbelievable racing. Watching Cameron Bella go side by side around the outside of Chris Lewis Williams all the way through Lukey Heights of all corners is just incredible.
And then things began to really heat up, with 4 of the front runners going nose to tail.
But this is a great battle pack, and any one of these 4 drivers can, will, and has won plenty of races in the past.
Absolutely, multiple champions all racing together, and less than a second covering the top 4.
Jamie Westaway, the first to falter.
So, Jamie very wide coming out of turn 2. Whoa, he's almost in the grass there as well.
Championship leader is still leading the way in that tyre power machine with Cameron Bella right behind him. Bella having won the last 5 races on the trot.
This left Lewis Williams, Bella and Brewer to battle it out, and Brewer saw a chance into turn 4.
Yeah, it's really, really tight at the top and it's very close race. You can see how close this is. All 3 of them. Adam Brewer now diving under brakes into Honda corner. Gets Cameron Bella. Wow, great move by Adam Brewer. This is so tight for the top 3. This is incredible. They're literally a couple of seconds away. And wow, reigning champion Jamie Westaway has called it a day. He's pulled over there. It looks like coming out of turn 2.
And Jamie Westaway eventually succumbing to those engine issues.
You've got no braking strength. You're going to, really, really struggle to pull up in time. This will be a good test of how much momentum Cameron Bella has out of that last corner, though. He's all over the back of that number 3 machine into that number 55 steel machine.
How close is this?
How's the weaving?
With the famous Phillip Island slipstream taking effect, Brewer chanced his arm around the outside at turn 1.
Oh,
He's holding it. Oh, that's so close. There's got to be millimetres in that.
3 wide, Brewer.
Cameron Bella's going to try to capitalise as well. So if he can hold this line, that's going to mean that Chris Lewis Williams drops from 1st to 3rd in a matter of 2 corners, and our number 3 driver, Adam Brewer, is going to head into the lead of this race. He hasn't won a race all season, but he has been metronomically consistent. He's got 4...
Lewis Williams bounced back under brakes.
Chris Lewis Williams now dives under Cam Bella, but it's still Adam Brewer. Out in front, he's gone a little wide coming out of turn 4.
The move by Lewis Williams was enough to gain an advantage, and he too used the slipstream effect to grab back the lead into the fast turn 1.
Believe the guys are going to see a last lap board this time round, so going through into turn 1, I cannot believe how close these guys. Chris Lewis Williams moves out of the slipstream there, wants to go around the outside of turn 1, and Cam Bella watching the 2 of them in front. Chris Lewis Williams does grab Ads Brewer going into turn 1. That's a hell of a gutsy move going in there, and Bella very, very close as well. He's trying to get the inside there.
Then, holding off the charges into turn 4.
Adam Brewer getting almost a taste of his own medicine there that he dished out to Lewis Williams on the lap beforehand, but he's able to hold on to his 2nd position. But look at Lewis Williams. He's making that 944 as wide as he possibly can, leaving it to the very last minute to jump on the anchors. A little tiny puff of blue smoke there. You cannot leave it any later than that. Chris Lewis Williams has timed his braking market to perfection, and this is a great defensive drive from him at the front of this race.
And Cam Bella is all over the back of Adam Brewer.
The final chance for Bella and Brewer wasn't to be.
They're going up the top and over the rise at Lukey Heights for the final time. This will be one of the spots, if you're looking for a pass, where you can try to make it happen, but he couldn't do it. He can't do it. Chris Lewis Williams is too solid under brakes coming out of the bottom of Lukey Heights, and he'll get that drive out of turn 11 and will now head towards the finish line.
A hard-fought battle between the 2 of them went right down to the wire as the 2 went side by side towards the finish line.
Brewer for 2nd position, but at the front it's going to be Chris Lewis Williams.
Eventually though, after an epic race, it was the 3-time champion Lewis Williams who took the victory.
Holds off Cameron Bella for positions 2 and 3.
Brewer was on board, showing just how much the 2nd place meant to him. And a late lunge by Wolf against Howe saw him fighting all the way to the finish.
Richard Howe coming across the line now, all for 11th position. No, he's been pipped to the line. Tim Wolf has grabbed 11th position from him at the death. Did not see that one coming. The West Australian.
So it's the 3-time champion, Chris Lewis Williams, who takes out a hard-fought victory in race 1. Adam Brewer with a strong drive for 2nd, and Cameron Bella rounds out the podium. Poleman Tony Westaway gets home in 4th. Keith Mariner, top 8. And Jamie Westaway, battling mechanical gremlins, completes the top 10. Tim Wolf just outside that. Johnny Venoris rounds out the field. And Ryan Woods, battling with terminal engine issues right from the start, classified as the only non-finisher. After a really strong start to the season, we caught up with young hotshot Carter Fox just prior to race 2.
We're down here in the Porsche 944 Challenge Garage, and I've got the driver of the number 7, Carter Fox, here with me. Carter, this machine wasn't always the number 7. It was the 99 of John Kennedy. How's it been treating you since you took it off John's hands?
Pretty good. It's got its quirks, and it's a technical car to work on. But when she's going pretty hot, so it's a good car to run, yeah.
And what's it been like in the 944 Challenge? Because you're relatively new to this category, only having been around for a couple of seasons so far.
Yeah, it's awesome. Some of the best racing you can find, I reckon, anywhere in the world. It's such a great group of guys. We've all got really good respect for each other. Close, fast racing on track, and it's amazing. It's really good.
Go well this weekend, mate. Thanks so much.
Cheers. Awesome.
The Phillip Island Circuit is located at the very bottom tip of Australia, on the edge of the Great Southern Ocean. And so, when the weather turns at Phillip Island, it really turns.
Porsche 944 Challenge at a saturated Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit. We're used to a bit of unpredictable weather here, but Jack Atley, who joins me in the box, this is about as wet as we've seen in recent times.
Good morning, Matty. Good morning, everyone. And a big, huge hello to all the ducks out there this morning, because they will be absolutely loving these conditions. It's a sensational day for them. Race car drivers, probably not so much. There's going to be a number of rivers right across the track. Definitely fairly challenging conditions. And this place is a little bit intimidating at the best of times, let alone when you're throwing a bit of water.
On Sunday morning, the field was faced with the full force of Mother Nature, coming off the notorious Bass Strait coast. And in some of the worst conditions the category would see all season. The torrential rain would make it both a real challenge for the drivers and a fascinating watch for the viewers at home.
The rest of the field are ready to go.
Lewis Williams and Brewer took up the front row. Tony Westaway saw issues in race 1 and would miss from P4, starting from pit lane.
Really tricky proposition in these wet conditions. Carter Fox also starting this race from the pit lane. The revs are starting to build. The red lights are on, and we're underway. Phillip Island. It's a terrible start for Adam Brewer in second position. He has stopped dead on the front row of the grid, and we're hoping that everyone can get around him cleanly.
Brewer stalled at the start and was swamped.
That is a terrible start for Adam Brewer. What a shame that is, and that means that Chris Lewis Williams unchallenged.
Lewis Williams taking the lead into the first corner, with Ferdino and Kellick making up early spots. Jackman too was revelling in the wet conditions.
Shame for Adam Brewer there, the front row man, but he just failed to get away off the start of the line. But Joey Cullick was saying last night how much he loves these conditions, and this is where the real skill of the drivers come to the fore. And the pool master himself, he certainly knows about water, and Andrew Jackman is really revelling in these conditions, and he's going around the outside there of Westaway. They're sliding all over the place, but Joey Cullick, the number 77 there, trying to get the outside line.
But the biggest mover, however, was Jamie Westaway, grabbing an unbelievable 8 spots on lap 1 and charging towards the leaders.
You can see a few rivers coming in there. That's Westaway in the number 46 Martini liveried car, trying to dive down under Joey Cullick under brakes into Honda. Andy Jackman there has had a great start going around Cam Bella at number 55.
Bella too saw a chance on Cullick into Lukey Heights, with Westaway moving past Verdino already on lap 1 and up into second place. Jackman then wanted to also take advantage of the conditions.
But yeah, that really will bring the skill of the driver to the forefront of the conditions. And I'll tell you what, one of the guys that's showing his real skill is not only Andy Jackman, who's having a good run, but Jamie Westaway. I mean, really, you know, he's just a class actor.
Bella was slowly moving forward, tiptoeing through turn 1.
I mean, you might get some fogging in these windscreens as well. The cars do fog up in these conditions, so you know, visibility is very, very hard in these sort of conditions. This is really pretty torrential rain at the moment. So when you're coming down the long, beautiful Gardner Straight here, it's very interesting from a race car driver's position. You're actually heading straight down the main straight, and the track is grey, but Bass Strait, which is what you're heading towards, is also grey, and the sky above it is grey. So the whole thing is effectively a grey screen in front of you. So you've really got to look out on the outside of the car, on the left and the right for your brake markers. You've got to be very careful of other cars that are around you at all times, and you've got to be really smooth and gentle.
Reigning champion Jamie Westaway wasn't stopping there either, and made his move for the lead on Lewis Williams coming up and out of the aptly named Siberia corner.
But you've got Chris Lewis-Williams, who's a 3-time champion, Jamie Westaway, who is the reigning champion, and there's a reason why they're out the front. They're very smooth with their driving conditions, and in fact, Jamie's almost going to have a crack there at Chris as we head up towards Hayshed there already. So side by side in really tough conditions, but Jamie Westaway really showing his skill and just being so smooth and careful on what is almost effectively an ice skating rink out the back there. But
Father, Tony Westaway, was also making moves, passing Mariner and Tudor. Kellock, like many, was finding the conditions tough, and as his onboard footage showed, virtually driving blind. A wonder he stayed on track at all.
But that's not what you want to see for the number 77.
this is, of course, a real opportunity, though, as well. Some drivers absolutely hate these conditions and can be scared going out on the track, whatever, rarely scared, but it's frustrating, these conditions, because you can't push the car to its absolute limits. Other drivers absolutely love these conditions because they see it as a great opportunity to bank a lot of points over guys that are normally very, very tough to beat.
We saw Cameron Bella there ducking and weaving out from behind Andrew Jackman down the straight, just trying to see past all the spray.
The number 7 of Fox was taken to the track like a duck to water. Really impressing, taking spots from Tudor, Mariner and Brisbane.
He's going to have to tuck in behind Keith Mariner for now, but Carter Fox from the pit lane is up to 14th.
Sensational, yeah. I mean, that's great to see Carter doing really, really well in these conditions. It's definitely challenging conditions, and he's going around a veteran of the game there in Keith Mariner. But yeah, using the outside line, staying off the generally normal, what's considered normal racing line, to find the grip. You're constantly looking for the grip in these cars, and young Carter Fox is doing a very, very good job as he comes around. He's probably got a couple of laps to go, judging on our time scale there now, and I believe we may have lost Dickie Howe and John Vanoris as well out of the back of the field. So a couple of casualties. It's probably to be expected, to be honest, in these kind of conditions.
And just ahead of them, unfortunately, Mark Torbitz, who's, as you said earlier, has been a stalwart of this category, the president of the 944 Challenge Association, and is a pretty quick driver, just having a litany of issues with that car, unfortunately, and not able to get the pace that he deserves out of it. So he's stuck at the back of the field. He will still bring home some points if he can finish it in 15.
Whilst all this was going on, the battle-hardened Brewer was staging a monumental fight back, up to 8th, taking Wolf through the rain.
This is Adam Brewer, who we saw dropping like a stone at the start of the race. He's back up to 9th position, so that will unfortunately be his lowest finish so far this season, because as we've been saying all weekend, he's just been so consistent.
Woods with a spin under brakes at turn 4.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate. Oh, there's Ryan Woods in the new car having a slide into Honda there. Very, very tough conditions, hard under brakes into Honda, so he's got it going again and he's got it rolling. But
drama is never far away in the 944 category, and it wasn't long before it all unfolded at the front. The pool master, Jackman, was in his element, and after a great race-long performance, he saw his chance for his first ever podium in the category, pushing Verdino into turn 1.
He's got a gap of 8.4 seconds over Chris Lewis-Williams, and this is the battle for third, which is a further 10 seconds behind him.
I would, sorry to interrupt, Matty, but I would love to see, I've got to say, Andrew Jackman try and get on the podium here. You've got Mark Verdino just in front of him, and Cam Bella, who's finding it a little bit difficult to get around these cars, and Verdino's gone off. Unbelievable, just as I was giving him the rap, but incredible. That's a real shame for Mark Verdino. He's had a slide coming into turn 1. That'd be a pretty hairy moment, I've got to say. You're still at quite high speed, although it's raining, but what that does is it puts Andrew Jackman on the podium. Now, Andrew Jackman is coming off a Bathurst 6-hour victory this year, so he's already having a great year, but this would be his first podium in this category. He's just got to hang on for a few more corners, and he's got a 4-time champion sitting right on his bumper.
And then the ultimate commentator's curse.
About how he was travelling, he will be absolutely wrapped if he can keep it.
No!
Oh my goodness!
Oh no!
No! Andrew Jackman has rotated the car at Honda.
No.
I really hope he can get it running. He's dropped back to 5th position. Mark Verdino just goes past him again, and this battle for third has now thinned out so far. Oh my goodness, I can't believe
Eventually, race officials deemed the conditions just too dangerous, even for Phillip Island, and the race was called.
But you look at the reigning champion, Jamie Westaway, in the Martini liveried car, a class act, really taking charge there and well in control as he heads down towards Gardner Straight for the final time.
It was the reigning champion, pardon the pun, Jamie Westaway, who sailed home to a commanding victory.
Jamie Westaway, his second race back this season, the reigning champion, of course, shows us why he is the reigning champion. He will take the checkered flag at the end of race 2, and he will win in the number 46 Martini car.
And as if all that wasn't enough, in one last gasp, Jackman pulled off what was later called by many the move of the year.
Live pictures we're looking at.
This is the battle for fourth. Cameron Bell has crossed the line in third position to round out the podium, but this is the battle for fourth. Can Mark Verdino get a bit of momentum off that final corner to get past? He's going to duck it in the inside and have a look, but he's not going to get it done. Andrew Jackman brings home fourth position just. And this is how he got past in the first place, on the grass, in the mud, over the top of Lukey Heights, if you don't mind.
Jacko.
Oh my goodness, I don't know how he's held on to that.
He's wider there and he would have been selling hot dogs, no doubt about it. I mean, he is out on the grass on a wet track. That is unbelievable. And he's actually got Mark Verdino coming under brakes into Lukey Heights. What a performance.
This is just 944 racing at its finest. We're just seeing the rest of the field filtering.
So in one of the most courageous and challenging drives the category has faced all season, and showing why champions are champions. It's the remarkable two-time champion Jamie Westaway who takes victory by 12 seconds over three-time champion Chris Lewis-Williams, with four-time series champion Cameron Bella in third. Andy Jackman had his best ever result in the category with a spectacular and hard-fought fourth place. Mark Verdino also a strong race in fifth, and Ryan Woods up to sixth after starting last. Tony Westaway makes it to ninth. Tim Wolfe rounded out the top 10. Carter Fox fought hard all race for his 11th. Mark Torberts rounded out the field. Following the epic race, we caught up with two-time champion and race winner Jamie Westaway just prior to race 3.
Jamie Westaway making a cameo for this year's 944s. How's it feel out there?
It's been slippery so far in the wet weather. It's not very easy out there. Just trying to tune up Jimmy's car for this weekend and see how we go. Yeah, we'll see what improvements we can make before qualifying, but otherwise it has just been a little bit tricky in the wet. It's not quite representative of our dry pace just yet. So hoping for some dry weather, I think, for me.
So are you a fan of wet racing, or is this something that you're a little less comfortable with?
Typically I am. In my car that I was racing the last few seasons, I would have said bring it on, but not so much for this weekend. Getting thrown a different car is a little bit trickier, so we'll see how we go. But regardless, I think I still will have some good pace. It's just figuring out how the car behaves in this sort of conditions.
Are there any teething issues getting back into the car after a bit of a break?
A little bit, just sort of getting used to the field of view. I mean, this car is a left-hand drive, mine's a right-hand drive, so other than that, just getting used to where the new gear shifter is. It's been pretty good so far.
Good luck for the weekend. Is there anyone you want to thank?
Let's thank Osfield Race Oils for all their help and support, because we know that Porsche 944s, they do need their oil.
On Sunday afternoon, race 3, the final race of the weekend, and the field rolled out, finally, with some relief and a break in the weather on a dry but cool track. And with normal weather, it became business as usual for the front-running champions, Lewis-Williams, Westaway and Bella.
One of the guys I'm definitely keen to see what he can do is Adam Brewer, who's coming out of mid-pack now. Ads unfortunately had a stall on the grid in race 1 this morning, but he qualified well and he races really, really well, and he's having a great season. So he's coming out of mid-pack. Look out for the wet and wild Joey Culloch, who could be pretty keen to get moving from mid-pack as well. Tony Westaway actually secured pole for race 1, and he's coming out of that pack as well. Timmy Wolfe has coming out of the Michelin GT3 Challenge last week in Tasmania, another fast driver as well. So that mid-pack's going to be definitely interesting on a track that is pretty mixed conditions.
The field is fully gridded up, and we're just getting set for a race start now for race 3 in the 944s. The 5-second board is up, the revs are rising, the tension is building, the red lights are on, and we're underway. It's a great start from Chris Lewis-Williams. Jamie Westaway is holding pretty firmly next to him, and Andrew Jackman is trying to make a run for third. We've got some yellow flags waving with Ryan Woods very, very slow off the start.
Lewis-Williams, an early leader, but with no room for error.
Jamie Westaway trying to have a look up the inside of Chris Lewis Williams, who's made his way around the outside, and he'll get the whole shot through turn 1. Cameron Bella, look at him. He's all over the back of this pack at the front here.
Look at these three guys fighting up the front. They really want to try and build some form of a lead if they can. In the early stages, you've got Andrew Jackman sitting just back there in 4th, but the top 3 guys, there is not an inch between them, and these 3 guys are probably arguably the pick of the field, and they're all racing inches apart, literally. Now you've got Chris Lewis Williams has gone a little bit wide. He went out a little bit on the wet stuff out there at turn 3s. They're hard under brakes into Honda hairpin, drive it out of the corner here. They want to get drive down to Siberia. Jamie Westaway loves to lead races. Cam Bella doesn't mind sitting behind because Cam is very, very good on his tyres, and he knows that this is quite a long race, so he really wants to build up the tyre temp.
Westaway took advantage, but Bella then too wanting to use the slipstream.
You can see Cam Bella really trying to take advantage, and does take advantage of the long slipstream down the long straight here at Phillip Island. He will move to the left, but he's on the outside for turn 1. Jamie's holding his line. But the good thing about that is when you get to turn 2, Cam Bella has the inside line. So he's a little bit wide, but that's not too bad. He will get Jamie there under brakes as they head into turn 2.
Up front, the fight was on, but the real battle in the field was the 5-car fight between Culloch, Jackman, Brewer, Verdino and Howe.
But behind that, look at this mid-pack really bunching up. Joey Culloch just in front of Andrew Jackman. Mark Verdino wants to stay in the action as well. And of course, Adam Brewer, really experienced campaigner now. And of course, let alone speaking of experienced campaigners, Dickie Howe is coming up into this bunch. And I can tell you, look out for Dickie Howe, because there'll be a few drivers sweating on that one, that's for sure. They'll be sweating like a gypsy with a mortgage.
And if you think 944 racing isn't serious, at over 200 kilometres per hour, inches apart and inches from the wall.
Well, now if we head down the straight, that is really tight racing. Brewer trying to take full advantage of this slipstream, and he wanted to duck in. You've got Verdino out on the slippery slope on the far left there.
All drivers showing incredible skill.
Definitely still damp anywhere off the racing line. Andy Jackman still takes advantage there, and he ducks into just behind Joey Culloch into turn 2 and 3, but it's definitely on for the miners there with Verdino, Richard Howe, who's all over the back of Mark Verdino there, and Adam Brewer trying to stay with this bunch.
The fight continued, and eventually something had to give. And it was Verdino who felt the heat from Brewer.
Little bit counts in these Porsche 944 cars here at Phillip Island.
Without a doubt, it's such a tight field. I mean, it's a one-make category, so all the cars are the same, all the tyres are the same, and so it really comes down to driver ability, but it also comes down to effectively a game of chess, high-speed chess, where you really want to try and outthink what the guy in front of you is going to do and what the guy beside you is going to do, and you really want to plan a race. And this is getting really tight, and there's Verdino, he's gone off. Wow, yeah, he may have got a nudge there, I'm not sure, but you're definitely hard on the brakes. You're coming off a corner there around about 180 k's an hour. You definitely want to brake in a straight line, but if you get the rear of the car a bit light, and that's your heel and toe situation there, you want to definitely make sure you've got your heel and toe sorted there, because as you're down changing, the rear wheels can lock up, and if you lock them up and get on the grass or the slightest edge of this racetrack this afternoon, you're going to be off, and you're not coming back from that.
Jackman too took a slide.
The car is not moving, so we've got local yellows at turn 4, and I dare say, that's Andrew Jackman across the top of Lukey Heights.
Yep.
Has gone for yet another excursion there, except on the inside of the track, so he's lost a couple of spots, has dropped back behind, I believe that's Tony Westaway, so that would put him down into 9th position, which is not where he wants to be. But this is a replay of what happened just before. It's really hard to say what's happened there. We'd have to see another angle. It looks... May have been a little bit of contact, but it's really hard to say, and that's put Verdino into the gravel.
Going off. Once you get in those gravel traps, they're amazing at stopping cars, so it's very hard to get out of it as well. I mean, they're designed for safety, that's why they're there, but once you beach the car in those gravel traps, you're just not going to get out. I did notice, as I said, on Jamie's car, as we look at the front 3 now, you can see it pretty clearly there on camera that under the front right of Jamie's car, there is something flapping around. Now, whether that's part of his floor or
a part of the splitter that may have disconnected there, that's going to be making a lot of sound in the car. You can see it's actually buffeting a bit of air up into the engine cavity.
As well, and he's a bit squirmy under brakes there, and Chris Lewis Williams is a very experienced campaigner. He'll be looking at that, and he's just biding his time, knowing that he could potentially nab a place with a couple of laps to go.
Lewis Williams began sizing up a pass on Westaway.
And if you just look at the slipstream there of Chris Lewis Williams, he knows and he's been waiting for that. He's really taking full advantage of that slipstream going down this long Garden straight. He'll nab Jamie Westaway going into turn one. But you can see as well that the track is now effectively a dry track, and that's what these guys will be relishing, because they can really start pushing the car, and that is reflecting in their lap times. They're down to around about the 150 mark, so the lap times are substantially faster than what we had this morning. And again, this is why the cream is rising to the top.
And after getting that move done, could see Bella just ahead.
Cam Bella just biding his time, cool, calm and collected. Very, very cool campaigner, Cam Bella. Won multiple championships, knows the car, knows the track, and just sort of sizing up the conditions. And we've got about a lap and a half to go.
Meanwhile, the battle raged between Howe and Tony Westaway.
As we see now the battle for sixth position even, between Tony Westaway, who's made a pass on Richard Howe since they've crossed the start-finish line. But Richard Howe will be looking up the inside now as they go over Lukey, trying to get that place back. It's not the line that he wants there. He's had to scrub off a little bit of speed to tuck back in behind the number 50, but there may be another chance here. Tony Westaway takes the wide line, and Richard Howe's going to try and look up the inside. Gets the job done. That's a solid move from Dickie Howe.
Yeah, that's one of the best passing opportunities on this circuit as well. Tony Westaway, though, is no slouch, and he knows that he can sit behind Dickie Howe going into this fast sweeping turn 12, and he's going to get the slipstream all the way down the straight. But Dickie Howe definitely on a mission today, and he did it really, really well there coming into the bottom of Lukey Heights, and he'll try and drive that all the way down the track. Now you can see there, he's trying to break the toe of Tony Westaway, and as they head down towards turn one, we've got Timmy Wolf on here on the screen in the yellow Pipecraft car, coming over from Western Australia. Now he's just nabbed a position there. It looks like he's over.
Ryan Woods is the car right behind him,
really
but he's
having
ducking and weaving, trying to find a space behind him.
Torbets, Wolf and Mariner were locked in their own fight.
On the screen there, just ahead of Mark Torbets, as they sweep through turn 3 at the beautiful Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit.
With all runners heading for an absolutely extraordinary set of finishes.
Oh, we're just seeing out of our window, the battle for the lead here has gotten very, very close at the front with just a couple of corners to go here. This could be anyone's race depending on who gets the best run out of the corner. We'll keep an eye on that while we're watching what's on the screen. But here we go. Chris Lewis Williams is all over the back of Cameron Bella. As they come through 11, they're a little bit shaky. He's going to try and get up the inside through turn 12. He's got a great run of speed, does Chris Lewis Williams, and he's going to sweep along the inside. Cameron Bella is trying his darndest to keep the momentum going though, and he's going to be swarming all over the back of his bumper. Can he pull out and make a late lunge? No, he cannot. It is Chris Lewis Williams who takes out race 3 and round 3 of the 944 challenge, with Cameron Bella just behind him. Jamie Westaway in the number 46 Martini liveried machine brings it home in 3rd to round out the podium. What a close finish for the top 3, but we're not done yet. Great recovery drive from Adam Brewer to bring it home in 4th, ahead of the 1-800 Lasagna man Joey Kellick. Behind them for 6th and 7th, it is Tony Westaway who just holds on ahead of Richard Howe. What a close finish that was, and it's another one coming up here now. This is Andrew Jackman just holding off Carter Fox. Grab your partner, around we go. We're square dancing here. This is unbelievable. Ryan Woods brings it home behind them in 10th position, with Timmy Wolf, Mark Torbets and Keith Mariner crossing the line behind them.
It's not quite over yet.
It's not over yet. What is this? We've got another one with Andy Tudor and Joshua Brisbane locked in, like, very, very close together. Unfortunately, this is not going to mean a whole lot because Josh Brisbane has a 5-second penalty to his name, so he's going to stay behind there as Andy Tudor crosses the line ahead of him. The last runner on track is unfortunately not running in the form of Mark Rodino. He's still buried in the mud. That was a great round of 944 challenge racing that has now wrapped up here at Phillip Island.
So it's Chris Lewis Williams who takes out race 3 and round honours, in the narrowest of margins from Cameron Bella. Jamie Westaway just back in 3rd. Adam Brewer, Joey Kellick separated by 4 tenths. Tony Westaway and Richard Howe by 1 tenth. Andrew Jackman and Carter Fox by 2 tenths. Josh Brisbane hit with a 5-second penalty, the last runner home. And Mark Verdino's slide unfortunately sees him as the only non-finisher. Looking at the points tallies after round 3, as the 944 Challenge Series competes nationally as well as locally in Australian states, there are 2 sets of championship points awarded to the drivers. And, firstly, looking at the Victorian State Series, it's Chris Lewis Williams who leads that tally Cam Bella close behind in second, and Adam Brewer pushing hard just back in third. Mark Torbitz rounds out the top 10. Keith Mariner just outside that. Johnny Vanoris top 20. And Tony Andrzejewski completes that table with limited running. Whilst in the overall national 944 Challenge Series, no change for the top 3, but Tony Westaway moves to 6th. Mark Torbitz moves up to 9th. Andy Tudor and Jamie Westaway mid-pack. Pete Doherty top 20. And again, it's the number 27 of Tony Andrzejewski who rounds out that table with his own 27 points. If it's close, hard and fast racing in stunning Porsche machinery on some of Australia's best racetracks that you're after, head over to our website www.944challenge.com and check out all the information. The 944 Challenge Series will be back, bigger and better, for round 4 at Sandown Motor Raceway on the 12th of August